But I've always felt that we're, over-exploiting and damaging.
I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there.
Once known as the most hated woman in Britain and the third person in the past marriage of Charles and Princess Diana,
well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Camilla, who is now the King's Queen and a respected figure, is still cursed by Diana's legacy. However, a recent announcement made by King Charles argues everything that we have been told all along. The announcement on Camilla not only resurrects a dead scandal, but has set public opinion on a roller coaster. What does the announcement imply, and how will it affect Camilla's current status? Join us in this video as we reveal King Charles's announcement on Camilla and the truth of their relationship. King Charles's announcement, Camilla's side of the story. It all started from King Charles's coronation. During the coronation, just after Queen Elizabeth died,
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
King Charles suddenly announced Camilla as queen instead. Because a queen has equal power as a king, and Camilla is not a royal bloodline, this announcement caused great upheaval throughout the UK, since it implied a shift of power in the monarch. And that is not even half of the story. Let's go over how it all went wrong in the first place. When Prince Charles got married to Camilla in 2005, it caused one of the greatest scandals suffered by the royal family due to the circumstances surrounding their union. You see, it is no news that Princess Diana, King Charles's late ex-wife, was loved by all. So when it was discovered that she must have been betrayed by her husband during their marriage with an affair related to Camilla, the public was enraged. Everyone sympathized with Princess Diana, while Camilla became the villain and an alleged home wrecker. The members of the monarch were naturally displeased with her too, most especially Queen Elizabeth. Regardless of everything, in the end, Camilla emerged as an interesting figure who eventually married King Charles, became the Princess of Wales, then the Duchess of Cornwall, and finally, Queen Consort. It was Queen Elizabeth's last order to make Camilla just a queen consort.
In a message released on the eve of the 70th anniversary of her ascension to the throne, Queen Elizabeth wrote that it is her sincere wish for Camilla the Duchess of Cornwall to be known as Queen Consort.
As a consort was simply the king's wife and had no ruling power. But then, who really was Camilla Bowles before making her way into the British royal family in the way we never saw coming? At first, Camilla Rosemary Shand was just a country girl. Born and raised in East Sussex and South Kensington in England, she was the eldest of 3 children born to Major Rosalind Shand, a British Army officer turned businessman, and his wife, Rosalind, daughter of Roland Cubitt, 3rd Baron Ashcombe. They were no ordinary family and belonged to the upper class, with high-ranking status. Camilla also has royal blood. Her ancestors include descendants of the royal Stuart bloodline, who ruled England from 1603 to 1714. Growing up, Camilla's family spent much of their time at their country estate in East Sussex. There, Camilla developed a fondness for the outdoors and became a keen horsewoman. She had a childhood full of nature and wildness. Camilla attended Queensgate School in London, after which she went to finishing school in Switzerland and then briefly attended the University of London Institute in Paris. In 1965, Shand was a debutante. She subsequently worked as a receptionist for decorators Sybil Colfax and John Fowler, while maintaining an active social life. Extremely popular, she was known for being charismatic and fun-loving. However, she was fired from her receptionist job after she came in late after a night on the town. Camilla was unambitious and couldn't have been less interested in the idea of a career. She wasn't itching to travel and had no desire to go to university. She wanted no more from life than to be happily married to an upper-class man and live a sociable life in the country with horses, dogs, children, and someone to look after them all and do the hard graft. And as fate might have it, her dream appeared to be coming true at first. Meeting Prince Charming. In the summer of 1970, Camilla Rosemary Shand met Prince Charles, considered the most eligible bachelor in the world at the time. According to various accounts, she told him that her great-grandmother Alice Keppel had been the mistress of his great-great-grandfather, King Edward VII. Camilla was 16 months older than Charles. The attraction between the pair was instant, especially on the part of the awkward Prince of Wales. Charles loved that Camilla smiled with her eyes as well as her mouth, and laughed at the same silly things he did. Although widely claimed that they met at a polo match in 1970, before either of them was married.
His Royal Highness was suffering from a strained arm muscle, but fought a fast and furious match.
Giles Brandreth states that they did not first meet at a polo match. Instead, they first met at the home of their friend, Lucia Santa Cruz, who formally introduced them. They became close friends from there henceforth, and it didn't take long before the two started dating. The romantic relationship was well known within their social circle. Charles even later described the relationship as blissful, peaceful, and mutually happy. As a couple, Camilla and Charles regularly met at polo matches at Smith's Lawn in Windsor Great Park, where Charles often played polo. They also became part of a set at Annabelle's in Berkeley Square. As the relationship grew more serious, Charles met Shand's family in Plumpton, and he introduced her to some members of his family. Several circumstances, however, were pulling them apart, and marriage ever happening between them was not considered. According to Junor, Charles's great-uncle and surrogate father, Lord Mountbatten, disapproved of the relationship. He prevented Charles from marrying Camilla, since she was not a virgin, nor aristocratic enough. There was also the fact that Charles was considered too young, and that Camilla was head over heels in love with her ex, the dashing, sophisticated Army cavalry officer Andrew Parker Bowles, who had a reputation as a womanizer, and reportedly also dated Princess Anne for a time. Eventually, the relationship was put on hold after Charles traveled overseas to join the Royal Navy in early 1973.
Prince Charles reports to his new ship, HMS Minerva. Putting to sea on a 6-month tour of the West Indies, being a prince doesn't excuse him from the normal duties and responsibilities of a naval officer,
and ended abruptly afterward. But their romance didn't stop there, not even after Camilla got married to someone else. How the scandal began. While Charles was away on his extended naval deployment in 1973, Camilla and Parker Bowles rekindled their relationship. After an on and off relationship for years, their engagement was announced in the Times in 1973. Sally Bedell Smith claimed that the announcement was sent out by the pair's parents without their knowledge, which forced Parker Bowles to propose. On July 4, 1973, they were married in a lavish ceremony, despite Charles's pleas to cancel the wedding. Shand was 25 years old, and Parker Bowles was 33. It was considered the society wedding of the year with 800 guests. Royal guests present at the ceremony and reception included Queen Elizabeth II's daughter Anne, the Queen's sister Margaret, and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. Following her marriage, Camilla Parker Bowles enjoyed a life of comfort. She continued horseback riding and took part in rural gentry activities, including fox hunting. During this time, Camilla Parker Bowles and her husband remained in the prince's circle of friends. Camilla's warm-hearted nature, however, was supremely tested by Andrew's dismissive attitude and constant philandering. According to Junor, Andrew's infidelity was so well known that one friend once teased him. saying that she was hurt that she was the only one of Camilla's friends that he haven't made a pass at. Meanwhile, Charles and Camilla continued to be best friends after her marriage. The lonely prince was often a guest at the Parker Bowles' home, where Camilla hosted warm, wine-filled parties. She treated him like a normal person, as she had when they were together, and if ever he behaved badly, or was selfish or thoughtless, she wasn't afraid to tell him so. She was simply a proper friend. However, one thing led to another, and by the late 1970s, they were having an affair. It happened that in August 1979, Charles's relative Lord Mountbatten was assassinated by the Provisional Irish Republican Army. Charles was grief-stricken by his death and reportedly relied heavily on Camilla Parker Bowles for solace. It was during this period that rumors began circulating among close friends of the Parker Bowleses and in polo-playing communities that Camilla and Charles had rekindled their intimate relationship. A source close to Camilla confirmed that by 1980, they had indeed reunited as lovers. There are also claims by royal staff that it occurred earlier. Parker Bowles' husband, Andrew, reportedly approved of the affair, while he had numerous lovers throughout their marriage. Nevertheless, Charles soon began a relationship with Lady Diana Spencer, whom he married in 1981. He seemed to have moved on from Camilla, but by the mid-1980s, the Prince of Wales began an affair with her yet again. As later claimed, he was in the depth of depression when his marriage was irretrievably broken down, and Camilla pulled him out of that and made him laugh again. The affair became public in the press a decade later, with the publication of Diana. Her true story in 1992. She was stalked by the press, taunted with hate mail, and dismissed as ugly when compared with the beautiful Princess Diana. Then there was the Camilla Gate tape scandal in 1993.
The Daily Mirror has published excerpts of what it claims is an intimate 1989 telephone conversation between the prince and his former girlfriend, Camilla Parker Bowles.
When an intimate telephone conversation between Parker Bowles and Charles was secretly recorded, and the transcripts were published in the tabloid press. The book and tape immediately damaged Charles's public image, and the media vilified Parker Bowles. Then, in a 1994 TV documentary, the prince admitted to the affair. Amid the public uproar, in 1995, Camilla Parker Bowles divorced her husband, who soon afterward married his mistress, and Prince Charles and Princess Diana divorced the following year, with the princess blaming Camilla for it. The next year, in 1997, Princess Diana unfortunately died in a car accident.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident,
causing an unprecedented outpouring of grief from the public. The scandal ignited a fierce public backlash against both Parker Bowles and Prince Charles. She was especially vilified and later called it a deeply unpleasant time. However, the couple remained together, and Prince Charles reportedly told advisors that his relationship with her was non-negotiable. A campaign was launched to ease Parker Bowles into public life and hopefully rehabilitate her image. In 1998, she reportedly met Prince Charles's sons, William and Harry. The following year, Prince Charles and Parker Bowles made their first public appearance together, attending a birthday party for her sister. Camilla Parker Bowles later met Queen Elizabeth II for the first time since she and Charles's relationship was made public, at the 60th birthday party of the former Greek king Constantine II in 2000. This meeting was seen as an apparent seal of approval by the Queen on her son's relationship with Parker Bowles. After a series of appearances at public and private venues, the Queen invited Parker Bowles to her Golden Jubilee celebrations in 2002. She sat in the royal box behind the Queen for one of the concerts at Buckingham Palace. Charles reportedly paid privately for 2 full-time security staff for her protection. More public appearances followed, and Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles gradually came to be accepted as a couple. The media speculated on when they would announce their engagement. And as time went by, polls conducted in the United Kingdom showed overall support for the marriage. Despite this image rehabilitation, Parker Bowles received backlash from supporters of Diana, who wrote to national newspapers to air their views, especially after Parker Bowles and Charles's wedding plans were announced. When their engagement was announced on February 10, 2005, Queen Elizabeth II publicly bestowed her blessing. On April 9, 2005, 8 years after Princess Diana died, Charles and Camilla married at Windsor Guildhall. According to Prince Harry, he and his brother Prince William begged their father not to marry Camilla.
You and your brother both directly asked your dad not to marry Camilla.
Yes.
Though the brothers did go to the ceremony, Queen Elizabeth II did not attend Charles and Camilla's wedding because, as head of the Church of England, she felt it was inappropriate since both Charles and Camilla had been divorced. Technically, upon her marriage, Camilla became the Princess of Wales. However, she announced that she did not wish to be called princess and opted for the title of Duchess of Cornwall. After their marriage, the newly styled Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, began a life in public service. Camilla had been public enemy number 1 for much of the 1990s, after Diana named her the third person in the marriage. But by the time she and Charles married, most people's attitudes were beginning to soften, and the reception they had from the crowds in Windsor on the day of the wedding was almost entirely positive. After becoming Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla automatically acquired rank as the second highest woman in the British order of precedence after Queen Elizabeth II. Within 2 years of the marriage, the Queen extended Camilla visible tokens of membership in the royal family. She lent Camilla the Greville tiara. This previously belonged to the Queen Mother, and granted her the badge of the Royal Family Order of Elizabeth II. After their wedding, Clarence House, Charles's official residence, also became Camilla's. Revealing her strength and smarts, Camilla, as Duchess of Cornwall, seemed to have made a conscious effort to woo the very press that made her life hell for over a decade. As soon as she was married, she was seen out and about with Charles, and when people met her, they were surprised by how warm, friendly, and funny she was. They liked her. Because she was friendly to the press and helpful to photographers, they wrote friendly things about her and published good photographs, and gradually the public's view of her changed. The easy, loving relationship between Camilla and Charles was also evident during their public appearances. After a trip to Papua New Guinea in 2012, Charles's pride was evident when he spoke of her in an interview for the documentary Our Queen. He said Camilla loved it, and he hoped that people found out just how special she is and very much responded to her just being jolly good and down to earth. In The Duchess, Juner says that Camilla has transformed Charles, and he is happier with her than he has ever been. He also claims she gives him confidence and the support he has so desperately needed throughout his life and never truly found elsewhere. However, the hardest people for Camilla to win over were the members of the royal family. Camilla's struggle with the monarch. As the wicked stepmother, initially the royal family may not have accepted Camilla. The Queen especially didn't want Camilla around in the early days because their relationship was so damaging to the monarchy. But on a personal level, she has always liked Camilla. They have a lot in common, particularly their love of dogs and horses. Moreover,
as the Queen celebrates her 90th birthday, it seems the love and loyalty between Queen and Corgi.
Camilla is friendly enough with other members of the family and gets on well with William and Kate. It was initially difficult for both William and Harry, but Camilla let them take their time. But despite what his family thinks, Charles's love for Camilla is evident in their 2021 Christmas card.
King Charles and Queen Camilla are already showing off their holiday spirit by sending out their Christmas card,
which shows the Prince of Wales tenderly helping his wife put on her mask at Ascot. While it seems some royal family members, including Prince William and his wife Kate, eventually accepted Camilla, others appear to have more complicated feelings. In his controversial 2023 memoir, Spare and Subsequent Press Interviews, Prince Harry characterized his stepmother as a dangerous figure who sacrificed him and his wife, Meghan Markle, on the altar of public opinion. "She's my stepmother," Prince Harry told Good Morning America in 2023. "I don't look at her as an evil stepmother. I see someone who married into this institution and has done everything that she can to improve her reputation and her image for her own sake." The relationship between Prince Harry and Charles further deteriorated after Prince Harry's pointed comments about Camilla. Regardless, Camilla's approval rating steadily increased over the years, with many Britons seeing her as a warm presence and a calming influence on her husband. Camilla took on a more public role with her royal duties and drew particular praise for her charitable work, including that focused on empowering women and promoting literacy. She is the patron or president of over 100 charities and organizations. Since 1994, she has been notably involved with the prevention and treatment of osteoporosis, a bone condition that took the lives of her mother and grandmother. The Duchess also supported causes that promoted animal welfare, raised awareness on issues such as poverty and advocated for its victims. In addition, she earned praise for her humor and approachability. In 2021, Queen Elizabeth appointed Camilla a Royal Lady of the Most Noble Order of the Garter, the most senior order of knighthood in the British honours system. And the following year, on the eve of her 70th anniversary on the throne, she said it was her sincere wish that Camilla be known as Queen Consort when the time comes. Why Queen Consort and not Queen? Well, you are just about to find out from King Charles's recent announcement. Queen Consort or Queen Camilla. On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II died after a 70-year reign.
The historic and moving funeral of Queen Elizabeth still echoes tonight.
After decades of waiting, King Charles III was finally a monarch, and his beloved was now Camilla, Queen Consort. Unlike Queen Regnant, Elizabeth II, a reigning female monarch, equivalent in rank and title to a king, for a Queen Consort, there is no job description, no salary, and there are no official duties. The Queen Consort also has no constitutional position, but there's high visibility, high pressure, and high expectations from the public, whose taxes pay for the monarchy. In general, a Queen Consort's job is to support the king in any way she can. Birthing heirs is the first job, but this isn't an issue for Charles and Camilla, who each have children from their previous marriages. Prince William is first in the line of succession, followed by his eldest son, Prince George. As the wife of Charles for the past 18 years, Camilla has already been doing what a Queen Consort would do. However, the consort labels seem to symbolize all of the things that made Camilla seem illegitimate in the eyes of the public and the royal family, including the fact she was divorced. And so in the invitation for the coronation of the King the Queen Consort, Charles made a shocking revelation that raised eyebrows across the nation. It happened that the invitation, printed on recycled cards with gold foil detailing, features symbolic flora, fauna, and coats of arms which will be sent to over 2,000 guests, had deliberately referred to Camilla as Queen. The title, Consort, had been officially dropped, opposed to Queen Elizabeth's wish, on how she expected Camilla to be addressed once she became the monarch. What was King Charles trying to announce to the world by doing this? King Charles's insistence on removing it seems like an attempt to move forward and to assert his legitimacy and hers in the face of all the different criticisms they have had. The palace argued it made sense to call Camilla Queen Consort before Queen Elizabeth died to more clearly distinguish between the two. Nicoletta Gulase, an associate professor of British history at the University of New Hampshire, tells NPR. However, she adds, this invitation confirms that won't be the case going forward. It appears that after decades of preparation, King Charles, 74, is reportedly focused on modernizing and slimming down the monarchy. Already allowing Charles to be king while divorced himself and married a divorced woman is a sign of tremendous change. The removal of the word consort, legitimating that is a highly modern gesture that conforms much more realistically to modern marriage practices and the king's new role. But while Buckingham Palace might have dropped Camilla's consort title, it is worth noting that former queen consorts were styled after their husbands became king without the word consort. That was usually only in formal settings, so while Camilla is called Queen Consort, just Queen Camilla will do, as it is nicely alliterative and the consort part is understood. Regardless of her title, officially, Camilla will never be the reigning queen. Only members of the royal family who are born in the direct line of succession can become monarchs. With William and George the next two in line for the throne, a reigning queen is unlikely to come anytime soon. But Camilla's duties should not be underrated. After King Charles III was diagnosed with cancer in early 2024,
Buckingham Palace, which has announced that the king has been diagnosed with cancer.
Queen Camilla valiantly stepped up her duties, bravely becoming the face of the monarchy during a difficult time. Away from her duties, it is a private life at their London residence of Clarence House and various other royal dwellings, where they are surrounded by their 10 grandchildren, which seems to fulfill Queen Camilla the most. For although she is now Queen of the United Kingdom, she is still a fun-loving, family-focused mom at heart. What do you think of their relationship? Do you still think Camilla deserves the hate? If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.